Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Facebook Live. We are back after a very long break. It is the 9th of April. I think for the past 3 weeks, I was taking a course with Dr. Joe Dispenza, so I could not. And we had like Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. And I wanted to be a good student and be actually present for the class and not watch the recording. So I was a good student and I was present for the class, and it clashed, the timing clashed. So let's welcome our panel today. We have Patricia here, who's part of a core group of meditators. Good evening, Patricia.
Good
And
evening.
hopefully, good evening. Um, Let me see if I have a question. Or do you have any?
Your third short term.
Do you have any questions?
Well, I do have a question. I would like you to share with us
Okay, go ahead.
some of your experiences from the course, how that
Uh,
strengthened your presence practice, how that, because we know that we had manifestations course with Eckhart. We were listening to that.
it is totally different from Eckhart's conscious manifestation course to Dr. Joe's. But I'll talk about that during group meditation when Melba and Vidya are there. Are you able to hear
That's
me?
okay. Yes.
Okay.
I was just looking if there is any questions that you posted in the chat. So I was opening chat.
Oh, okay. So the question is why take human form if you want to be egoless? Isn't it the ego that searches for food, all things that take care of the body? Eckhart's teachings are too rich to be reduced to a sentence. So let me write that down in the chat as well. Why take and I'm going to tag everyone while you're speaking.
Well, when you read the question for the first time, the immediate response in my head is like, why not? Why take human form? Why not take human form? It's an experience that our souls contracted to have here, and each one of us has a very unique perspective on how to overcome ego and how to be in touch, get in touch in our true nature. It's a journey, it's an experience, and that's why we're here. That's what it's a beauty about being a human. And I do believe some people, some teachers believe also that it's a privilege to be a human, to have a body, and to use it as the instrument of consciousness, to be able to do stuff. And yes, you can use ego to do stuff, to do action, to get motivated. But then you also get awareness of we are not the ego. And we can use our minds as our servants and do incredible things. And like some say, we are here to love and receive love. And when we are acting through ego, it's not possible. So in order to love and receive love, we got to get rid of ego and do it, each one of us, in our unique way. So I think that's the value of human form. It's like, it's incredible when you go out there and you actually feel through your senses how incredible and enriching this is, being one with nature, feeling raindrops on your face, or even wind on your face and in your hair. Water, if you swim, go swimming, or even walking on the earth. It's like everything becomes a miracle. And if you're acting on ego, it's all you're in your head. But yeah, so why not have those experiences? It's just some information we giving back to the source after our lifetime. Yeah, we enriching the oneness with our unique part of it. I don't know, right? So that's how I understand it at this point. So my answer would be, why not? Why not take human form and see if we can do it and become egoless with the human form? It's a challenge. Like, souls love challenge, right? It's a challenge. And we go through the river of forgetness, right? When we don't remember who we are in our essence, and we come to this planet, to this lifetime, to this reincarnation, we have no idea. So each one of us has the individual opportunity and faces challenges to lose that ego attachment one by one, to realize this miracle of divinity in us. Thank you. I can't hear you, Vinam. You on mute.
I said that was quick. Thank you so much. Eternally grateful, Patricia, for your presence here. And Jonathan said hello. So good evening, Jonathan. Actually, it should be almost good morning for him. It may be early morning for him.
Jonathan, hi. Yes, it's night or morning, right?
What is it, like 4 hours or 5 hours ahead?
I think it's
So
1 o'clock
in the morning.
a.m. Yeah, it's 5 hours difference, I think.
So this person says, why take human form if you want to be egoless? So like you said, I think it is because we have forgetfulness of our original nature and we take human form. And I feel a lot of people don't even I guess this challenges their belief system because they don't believe that there is something called past lives and reincarnation, right? That the reason we take birth on this earth is to learn lessons, that our soul was here to learn lessons. Um, the best visualization that I have is Carolyn Mace during the course on Introduction to Medical Intuition. She talks about how our soul chooses. She kind of has this construct that we are made of archetypes, and she says our soul, along with that soul group that is going to take birth with us, right, decides that we're going to take birth. And then just like I love this analogy of this cookie cutter, like different shapes of cookies. So we pull different shapes of archetypes that we have. She kind of, what does she say is the default, Patricia? Like victim, prostitute, the child, and there's a fourth one, right? That are, by default, everyone has the prostitute archetype.
At least those
Everyone,
far. Yes,
Everyone has the
I feel
victim
like
arc.
oh my goodness. Yeah,
I forget the fourth archetype. So we have these archetypes, and we are here to unlearn our archetypes and be unlimited nature, like to be source energy. Like Dr. Joe uses the word source energy.
kind of like a savior. And we try to save someone. I forget the saboteur. So we have saboteur, we have prostitute, we have wounded child.
Or child, and then we have victim identity, victim.
Victim.
And that's why so many people are victim consciousness, right? Their whole story is a victimhood. Oh,
Oh
look
my
what happened
goodness.
to me.
Yes, I mean, I'm surrounded and I see, not all the time, but in specific moments it comes up. And I know it comes up because they're blaming everybody else for everything that happened. Oh, why is it that way? This is, I have to, like, everybody's fault. They just victimize themselves.
They
Look
can't
at
take,
me, my father left me, oh, my mother is this way, I'm sick, I have this condition, like, yep, huge.
so so that is why we take human form, is to learn lessons. And
To
then
overcome those stereotypes, I guess, archetypes.
and we are not egoless. Like if you were egoless, our spirit, Sadhguru says, if you were egoless, then our spirit would just exit our body. Like when you reach that level of mastery, self mastery of yourself, the spirit does not stay. The reason why the spirit is in the body is because of the karmic accumulation of the archetypes, like Carolyn May says, right? So if we didn't have those karmic accumulation, then our spirit would leave our body. So we are here to get closer and closer to being what Eckhart calls formlessness.
Right. And
Our being.
each one of us does it. We all do each part. Like my part is doing this way during this lifetime. And then your part is overcoming this way in this lifetime. And if everybody does it, we will at some point reach that absolute oneness and love and unconditional love and peace. And that's it. We all as one become this our true nature. But because each one of us has to do its job first, we're still not there.
Right, right. Somehow you sound, it's sounding different. Did you change your sound, or it's just your laptop microphone?
How do I sound? No, I did not change. Maybe I need to put it closer.
Maybe so.
Hello? Maybe it needs to go louder. Is it the how loud it is? I have a 95% sound.
It's fine. It's fine. It's sounding different, like as though you're speaking through another speaker or something like that. But it's absolutely fine. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Jonathan just said, "Hey, good to see you again." And
Ditto.
good to
I was
have.
very happy when Poonam announced today's Q&A.
When I posted it on Saturday
I mean, yeah,
or Sunday, I
and for
think I did it on
notifications,
Sunday.
yeah, notifications.
Yep. Yep. I might resume the Sunday meditation if I stop working. I have to do one last weekend, which is at the end of the month. So maybe in May, we can have a Sunday meditation. Maybe you can have a Sunday meditation right before Memorial Day.
So what's your secret, Puna? I would love that. What's your secret? Working 7 days a week and you still looking rested and present. I work 5 days. I'm supposing resting on weekends, and I'm still tired.
I think my diet and meditation practice, I don't stop meditating. I do it
Right.
every day, right? Like I make sure that I'm doing, and then on certain Wednesdays, I get it twice. Like I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, I do it in the morning. Then with Dr. Joe and on Wednesday evening, I was doing another meditation. So it became like a two-time meditation. Same thing happens on Fridays. I do the meditation in the morning at 3:30 in the morning, and then I do the meditation again in the evening with all of you.
And every day you do different meditation, or it's the same meditation, and then
No,
you
it's a
just,
different, it's a
how
different.
do you pick? Is it just whatever you feel like?
One is time. Some of those meditations are an hour and a half, and some of the meditations are just hour 15 minutes. So if I have hour and a half, then I'll do the hour and a half meditation. Then I also do a musical change. I don't listen to the same music over and over again because I feel you get entrained to that music and it no longer has an effect. So I want a music change as well. So I look for what did I play last time? Because some of his meditations have the same music. Like if you take The Alchemist, it's almost sounds like Center of the Magnet, the second half of Center of the Magnet, right?
Right.
So if I
Because
if I did
he's looking for a certain vibration, frequency, I think, of the music.
right,
So,
but I don't play the same meditation over and over again because I don't want to get used to the music, whatever the music is.
but you repeat them because we only have limited amount of meditation, so it's not like you never play the same again. You will play, let's say, in a month,
But
or
I'll do it like 4 or 5 days later. It's not like I'm doing this meditation and the next day I'm doing the same music melody meditation the next day. I
and
change it.
do you feel that certain meditations are more powerful than others, or it depends on what you need in the moment?
I find like Body Electric very powerful. Blessings of the Energy Center 4 is very powerful. So I'll do them more and more. Blessings of the Energy Center 8 is very powerful. So I'll do that. So there's certain meditations that I find more powerful. So I tend to repeat them. So whatever I play during the group meditation are normally meditations that I don't do on a regular basis.
Mm.
So then I get that routine of doing it on the Friday because I'm not doing it on the weekend.
It's just no matter what, just stick to the meditations 2 hours a day somehow. I also do that breath, that inspire breath. Dr. Joe.
Where, so that's what I did was I did the meditation in the morning, then I took 30 minutes of my day in the afternoon and I did the breath work as well.
I wonder if we answered the question. All of it.
It says, isn't it the ego that searches for food, all things that take care of the body? Uh, the ego doesn't search for food and all things that take care of the body. I feel like the more we get to trying to being egoless, things just come to us automatically.
Mm-hmm. It's not effort anymore.
There's no effort involved in what we need anymore. That's correct. So just like last year, I think for a couple of people, I just paid their conscious manifestation course fee and something else, right? And I never thought, how am I going to get this money back, right? It just was like a generosity, a moment of generosity, and I just paid it. right? I got into the moment. Like, I think one person was from Iraq or some different country, and he didn't have a credit card, and so he didn't know how to pay for the course. So I actually called the Eckhart support team, and I told them, hey, I need to pay for this person, and they took it from my credit card. I you know but what I saw was, immediately I got on a project which started making me work on the weekends, and I was getting paid overtime for the weekends, and I made that money very easily. Like, it's not like something that and this is what Dr. Joe teaches in the abundance course as well. The faster our frequency gets, which is the depth of when we go deeper and deeper into the void, things just happen to us. We don't have to go out and look for them, right? I think even Eckhart, during his conscious manifestation course, that's what he is talking about, that the more stillness, that stillness is the most important thing. The more still we can.
And that's effortless grace, right? Just being
So,
receptive.
so you were saying you were really, really busy. Even however busy you are, it is better to slow down, like slow the pace down, like take moments in the busyness of things, slow it down, and at some point in the day, like exit, like in the middle of the day, exit and do the breath work or do some meditation for 20-30 minutes. Give yourself the 30-40 minutes of quiet time again. And that's what sustained me for the 7 days a week. Because no matter how busy I was, it was crazy busy, like crazy busy. No matter how busy I was, I would, if I saw two meetings and there was like a 40-minute slot where I could get up and go, I would go and do the breath work. And that breath work, like if you know how to do it very well, the pulling the mind out of the body from the Inspire series, it is magical. If you do it correctly, it like I would get so much energy. People would say, "Ma'am, it's 3 o'clock and I'm not drinking coffee." Like all these people are drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee. I'm not drinking coffee. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I've woken up at 3:30 in the morning. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's so much energy, right?
I mean, I feel that I have more energy than I used to have, but I think I'm allowing still a lot of leaking of it. So I start the day with much more, and then I leak the energy here and there without even noticing. And then at the end of the day, I'm still much more awake when I come home, when I'm driving back, but it accumulates. So at the end of the week, it still is. I still feel tired. So I would love to find a way to actually daily replenish or maintain that energy, like you said, instead of going up and down and then having to replenish this in the morning through meditations and then trying to maintain it and then leaking it and going in at night having to again replenish it instead of just kind of being always on that equilibrium, right?
It will come. The more you practice, the more you practice. And maybe up your meditations on the weekend so you kind of like get a taste of what is, how fast you can, if you spend more time in the meditation, then you'll get that sweet spot on how to get into the void quickly. So maybe on the weekdays when you do the meditation, it'll be a shorter time, right, to get into the void. Like even if you do it for 30 minutes, you know how to get into the void for those 30 minutes very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's all about how much we can be that nobody, no thing, nowhere, no time, right? Like be stillness, as
I love
Eckhart would
I
say.
love how he says that. It's incredible.
Jonathan says we come into human form or predisposition to rise above it. How was India? I didn't go to India.
You are planning on going to India.
I was planning to go to India, but I didn't go to India.
What is it, in May or June?
I haven't made the exact plans yet, so I don't know. At some point in time. Sri Lakshmi, that's good to see you. Do you have any questions?
Pleasure listening to you after so long.
Oh, thank you. How are you doing?
No, okay. Not recovered fully, but okay.
Wishing you a speedy recovery.
Thank you. Thank you.
So do you want to get through one of the gene keys since we have some
Yes.
time?
Let's do a gene key.
Do you have the book? Do you have the book?
Yes, I do. It's in the other room, so I
Okay.
can get it. Hold on, I'll get it.
Did we ever do gene key, the 29th gene key?
Oh my gosh. I have it. I didn't do it, but the last time I opened it was 25th, and I just put an envelope right randomly into the book, and I just open it right now, and it's, guess what?
29th gene key? Awesome.
That
So this
is
is
crazy. Leaping into the void. You're just talking about going in the void. Just a second ago.
synchronicities happen. So 29 gene key is about leaping into the void. The 29th shadow of heartedness. So programming partner is the 30th gene key, codon ring, the ring of union, physiology, the sacred plexus, so the middle part, and amino acid is valine. The siddhi is the.
I think we've done this one before, didn't we?
Have
Didn't
you
you
done?
talk to me, tell me that about the half? I just remember the half-heartedness. Yet I'm not
Okay.
going into something for full.
Okay, let's do another one then. I don't remember which ones we did. Let's see what this one is. 11th gene key.
Oh, that one definitely not.
The siddhi is light, the gift is idealism, the shadow is obscurity. The 11th shadow is obscurity, the fascist regime of the human ego. So the 11th gene key will open you to a whole new world, the world of light. Indeed, it is this gene key that gives its name to the important genetic and chemical group known as the ring of light. This gene key concerns human vision, both internal and external. As such, it is deeply connected to the human eye and the way in which images are translated by the visual cortex into the brain as imagination. One of the most fascinating studies of light in all its potential can be seen through this genetic codon. The amino acid threonine programs your DNA through the 11th gene key. Threonine also codes for 3 other gene keys, the 5th, 26th, and 9th. Each of these 4 gene keys concerns a different code through which human beings are connected with light. So The main pointer here is the greater percentage of human beings on the planet lives within a very narrow band of light waves, which means that they do not see reality clearly. What most people think of as reality is a very dim and skewed view of the true reality. The 11th shadow greatly limits a very specific functioning of the right hemisphere of the human brain. That aspect of your mind that does not see patterns and facts through language and number, but groups reality through reams of interconnected and intuitively grasps fractal images emerging from the deep recess of the brain. The right hemisphere of the brain has long been seen as the feminine side of the brain. It is the lateral thinking, intuitive, and artistic side of your mind. If you could see how deeply limited your perception of reality is without the full functioning of this feminine side of your nature, you would be enormously shocked. So that's the shadow, that we don't see
Obscurity.
reality. Obscurity. Exactly. We don't see things exactly the way they are. And I feel this goes back to our one of the things Dr. Joe was talking about is confirmation bias. That our brain is always looking for, like, we have limiting beliefs, and our brain is always looking for confirmation of those beliefs. So it only sees what it can confirm. Like if I
Right.
say, if somebody has a confirmation bias can be something like this. If somebody says, like President Trump says, right, all illegally immigrants are thugs and they are rapists, or whatever he says, right?
Criminals. Yeah, criminals.
They're criminals. Then that's all that they're going to see. That's a confirmation bias, that they're always going to see, instead of seeing, oh, like the person who does my yard, how hardworking are they? How much effort do they put in, right? That they are people that actually raise a family. They have family values. They have kids. They are more stronger. Like I feel people from South America, Mexico, or South America, they're very much like Indian families, like very family oriented, right?
Very
They're very
much
closely.
so. Yes, we have
So
few employees from Ecuador. Yes, amazing people, amazing.
right, so they're very close knit families. They believe
Yes,
in taking care of their they won't uh, put their parents and grandparents in assisted living. They'll have them live with them,
yes, they take
right?
care of
Just
the
like they
elders.
take care of their elders. So the repressive nature of this obscurity is fantasizing. So a repressive, somebody who represses this obscurity, that they're not seeing the repressed part of this gene key, 11th gene key, where they're not seeing things the way they are. They're going to fantasize. And he says the foundation of repression is fear. And when this fear is not embraced, it creates an enormous drain on our whole body and being. Unlived lives gradually drain the physical energy from the body, leading to all manner of physical health problems. Even worse than this, inner fantasies that do not find a creative outlet block us from following our true destiny. Our destiny is always hidden away behind these fantasies. The longer we hold them within, the more twisted they become, until what began as a simple archetype becomes perverted into a much perverted into a much darker form. Reactive nature is, this person is delusional,
Mm,
deluded, right? The reactive nature rooted in denial and anger turns the inner fantasy into a projection field and tries to manifest it in the world. If
This
the
is a very dangerous gene key. Right?
I mean, don't you see people that they're not seeing the world as it is, and then they're repressing. They live in their own fantasy world, right? Like they have their own bubble that they live in. It's not actually.
Yes, absolutely. The delusions, that it's dangerous for everybody around them because they make decisions based on that.
And they're delusional. So they won't trust because of this depth of their denial. They cannot let go of the inner image they have of what they when they become. Such people are headed for eventual disappointment and even breakdown. Delusion is the attempted externalization of a false dream that conceals a deeper and real dream. Until the true dream is uncovered, what emerges is simply a veneer with no power to manifest. So the delusion, the person that is deluded, kind of like represses their own what they would want.
The true dream.
I don't think I have an issue with being delusional or have obscurity. I don't even think you have this obscurity gene. The gift is idealism. Idealism.
It said that idealism is given a bad rap in our modern world. It is seen as the opposite of realism, and realism is associated with the power of manifestation, whereas idealism is generally seen as weaker. The 60th gift of realism, however, is actually founded upon a magical truth that the only thing needed for magic to occur is some form of structure and an open mind.
And then the light of Eden, he says something about the city is light, and
it says that, for example, if you have an altered experiments of becoming the Buddha or experience messianic powers, instead of identifying with the experience, you can see it as an alchemical stage in your own psychic process. The danger comes with identification. The entire notion of past lives is based upon such identification, and although it seems perfectly harmless to identify yourself with a past historical character, it actually prevents the archetype from flowing deeper inside you. This is interesting, complicated. But he's very true that the idealism has a different bad rap. It actually sounds like something's negative, that you have ideals and you will not take reality into account and will like.
But that's the gift behind it. Like the gift behind being obscure is that the person can, if they were to let go of their obscurity, the gift behind obscurity is that, so when he says gift, that means, yeah, you were given, that person was given this obscurity as a archetype or karmic accumulation, right? I would say archetype. It's almost like we were talking about, Carolyn May's talking about archetypes, right? This could be an archetypal
Archetype.
energy formation in us, that if that person, and we see this right, like with people with political views as well, they if they're a Democrat, then they will only see the democratic way of being is the way that you can move forward. If you're
They
Republican,
don't think that there's a room for, yes, for Republicans because their way's wrong. That's
right?
what they think. And vice versa.
So that's the obscurity, I feel.
So let's talk about the city.
City, city. The city is about light, and that we know, right? Like the more we become, uh, we were just talking about being the light right before this.
Yes, we did actually.
Right? So synchronicity. So the more we are aligned with our inner being, the more we are aligned with our formlessness, the more still we are, the more light we bring in. So we see things for what they are. I feel the other part to this confirmation bias kind of thing is um, interpretation of events as well, Sri Lakshmi and Patricia, like how people interpret events. You know, how many people say, like Jill Bolte Taylor, this was the first time I heard this, and I was like, yeah, if I were to ask my brother about the same event, like two people experience the same event, right? One person's story, she was explaining, I think she did a bone marrow. I think her book is called Marrow, and in that book, um, she gave donated her bone marrow to her sister, and she realized her sister, who probably has had leukemia or something, um, had such a different negative, probably a negative opinion about what had happened on that particular event. And Jill Bolte Taylor had a totally different interpretation of what had transpired for the same event. So what she told her sister was that all these should be resolved before you accept my bone marrow. If not, you won't be able to accept my bone marrow. To accept my bone marrow, first, all this negativity has to be resolved, right?
Mm.
So that's the other part to obscurity as well. The human beings are not seeing things that they are. Like how many people
I
say
would say it narrow-minded, right? Is it close to obscurity? Narrow-minded, just only.
it's not even narrow-minded. It's like because of our own limiting beliefs, our own karmic accumulation, we will not see things like, you know, Eckhart Tolle says, just look at the facts of the situation. We'll add a story. Oh my God, that
For
person.
me, it happens to me all the time. Stuff like that.
Leave it on that. It's like um, uh, we'll have an event, right? Like we'll have an event of uh, maybe somebody hit a car. We'll go, oh, I can't believe he can't see, or she can't see where she's driving. I can't believe people are texting. Maybe that person was busy on their phone. I can't, instead of the fact of the situation is, this is what Eckhart says. What is the fact of the situation? Get yourself to the present moment. What is the fact of the situation? The fact of the situation is I got hit by a car. What do you have to do? You have to ask the other person for their insurance, right? the second fact.
Go through the
The
motions.
third,
Suzanne.
the third thing is, now, is your car drivable or is it not drivable? If it's not drivable, you have to call the towing company to get it towed to your mechanic or your service center. They're just like facts of the situation, right? But somebody will blow it up so much. And that's why I feel people are stuck. We were talking about the archetype of victim identity as well. That's why people are stuck in their victim identity, because a thing may have happened, but they cannot reduce the thing to the facts of the situation.
And the facts will allow the brain to find a solution.
No, no, no.
But if
The
you're
facts
stuck-
the facts are neutral. They are not obscure.
Right, but your brain will find a solution. If you're stuck in the mud or your car get hit, what do? So the next is action that it's more required by the situation.
No, leave
Instead
alone
of
that.
just
Leave alone that you are sitting and victimizing yourself over and over again by repeating what happened when you're 11 years old or 12 years old or 15 years old, because each one would have like a facts of the situation, right? If my mother yelled at me, that's the fact of the situation. But saying, oh my God, she's such a monster, I can't believe,
doesn't love
right? That
building a story, yes. That's
the
what you do.
the story making is no longer looking at the facts of the situation. And actually, if people were to, going back to the initial question, if my mother yelled at me, right, when I was 6 years old or 8 years old or 9 years old, instead of saying, oh, why does a 4-year-old or 5-year-old get yelled at or get hit by her mother, look at my soul contract. I must have,
I
I'm
chose
going
that.
back to, I must have picked up that soul in that soul group. I must have picked a soul that actually yells at me and hits me so that I can learn. Because I know when I look at that 4-year-old self or 6-year-old self, I had a lot of resentment. Like I had like deep seated anger towards being yelled at or being
Criticized. For me, it
no,
was
no, being yelled
criticized.
at or hit, uh, both physical and verbal abuse. I had deep rooted resentment for it. And so now I realize that what that spiritual teacher in the form of my mother was doing, that spiritual teacher is just showing you, hey, you have this karmic accumulation. You have this archetype of deep rooted resentment. Heal your resentment. Find love. Find that unconditional love for me, even if I scream at you or shout at you or hit you, right? So that's what, but you know, the whole world, the normal way the world would look at it, they go, oh, poor little 6-year-old, I cannot believe that 6-year-old is being hit. But the reason why they're being hit is because they have a karmic accumulation. People say, oh, this is an innocent child. No, that innocent child has a past life. They have certain karmic accumulation. I was not innocent, right? So tying back to the question that actually started off, the gene key was also tying back into the question that was asked, right? That is why we are here to unlearn. So the gene key here is obscurity, not to, the lesson of the 11th gene key is to see things exactly the way they are. As Eckhart says, look at the facts of the situation, boil it down to the facts of the situation, and don't go past that. Because the moment you start the story making mind, that's where the suffering arises.
Right. That's what. It's you feel how difficult in the beginning it is. You feel how you're going to defend your identity, how you're going to defend your ego. And then it's like, why? Why do you? And for me, the question that Rupert Spira asked in one of his videos, on whose behalf do you feel that? On whose behalf do you feel anger? And the minute you ask the question, or on whose behalf you feel like a victim, then it brings you to the subject. Who's behind of it? And all of a sudden it's like, well, you disconnect yourself from that ego identity by asking that question. On whose behalf do you feel lonely? I mean, it worked for me every time, because I sometimes would, it's old conditioning and my body memory is pulling me into that sensation, producing the same chemical, like Dr. Joe says. We are addicted to the chemicals that our body produce, based on the old experiences of hormones of stress and stuff, and we just keep producing them. So your body has that memory in it, and it's acting on the program, and now we want to do something else. It's not that easy to just change. But the minute you take that 1 second, like Eckhart said, just one present moment of the
Look
realization
at
of,
something.
yes, on whose behalf, like, oh, it's like a pattern interruption.
Mhm.
You're interrupting that program, and you're throwing, a wrench into the wheels, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, everything is stopped. Like, oh, we can stop? Oh, really?
So
April said to just put like stop. Like when you notice yourself going into that thing, just stop. Just say stop.
Jonathan says, like Byron Katie says, we only see what we believe. And then he also said, I am dealing with the loss of a friend. I find it even more tragic because he was awakened and didn't get the chance to fully transcend his suffering. I hope he's on a better path now. Oh my God. Deepest condolences with you, Jonathan. That is a tough loss. I am so, so, so sorry to hear that. Thoughts and prayers with you during this difficult time.
Me too, Jonathan. Deepest condolences for your loss.
So the one thing I would say is to say, I find it even more tragic because he was awakened and didn't get a chance to fully transcend his suffering. That soul exited exactly the time that it needed to exit. That soul learned the lesson that it needed to learn. It will come back. Like the soul, like if you listen to I listen to those audiobooks. So I listen to Dolores Cannon and Convoluted Universe. She talks about, like, when we exit the body, there are so many different realms that the body goes to. I mean, the soul goes to, or the spirit or the consciousness that we were. It can go into other realms, and they are back into. If you ask anybody with a near death experience, every time they had a near death experience, they always return to infinite love. So that soul went back to infinite love. So instead of saying it's tragic, it's like, okay, they transcended, like their suffering was part of being in this human body. My suffering, which I have a issue with my I pulled a muscle and I'm suffering. My suffering is of this physical body, right? So suffering is always of this physical body and the mind. The moment those two are not there, there's no suffering. We are infinite love. So just send him love. Say I'm not going to cry for you. I'm just going to send you lots of love. So send your friend lots and lots of love. Pour as much love into their spirit as possible, as Sadhguru says. Pour in that honey sweet love, and that soul will know of love as it's exiting. We're at the top of the hour. Patricia, you want to conclude on this point? And we meet again in 2 weeks. Will that work?
I'm very happy you're back. Thank you everyone for watching. And we resume our every 2 weeks.
Once in
Q&A.
2 weeks, yes, we will. Thank you so much, and hopefully there may be other courses. By the way, Dr. Joe did say he's gonna have other courses. Hopefully he has one soon, and you can join me, Patricia. It was fun. Like Josie and I would text each other, and like I would say something to her, hey, are you doing this? Are you doing that? So it was fun. So I was kind of hoping that you would have joined as well. But next time, there will always be a next time. Be ready for the $500-600 that it's going to cost. So keep that $600 separate, that it's for the next course. Okay. Sri Lakshmi, you were going to say something?
No, no, I just wanted to say that it's so good to listen to you on this after so long.
Thank you,
And-
thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Eternally grateful for your presence, Sri Lakshmi. Thank you for.
It's my pleasure to be with you and listen to the topic also interesting.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for choosing your divinity over your humanity. So grateful. Have a
Thank you
wonderful,
for the light, sharing your light.
have a wonderful evening, everyone. Much love, many
Very good.
blessings.
Bye.
Bye.